This Thursday, September 7th, MLB Betting Picks Show edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by the SGPN Free Roll Football Contest. Join our free season-long pick'em for a chance to win $3,000 and a Super Bowl autographed SGP helmet. Sign up link in the SGPN app. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the strays. Use promo code SGPN on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app and use promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the Underdog Pick'em in college or NFL to win up to 20 times your money in one game. Use promo code SGPN at UnderdogFantasy.com for a 100% deposit bonus of up to $100. And we're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use promo code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any NFL game. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code SGP. Welcome, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is Wednesday, September the 7th, currently 5:15 on the East Coast. Here to handicap the 6-game schedule on Thursday on the Diamond. Short slate on Thursday. That's back-to-back Thursdays. We've had short slates. But joining me here to help me count down, you guys know him as a voice of the NBA Gambling Podcast, of course, here on the MLB Gambling Podcast, and going to be joining me on the NFL Gambling Podcast to do the Monday Night Football preview. It's Lante Smith. Lante, how you feeling, my man?
Yeah, man, feeling pretty good. Wish we had a little bit more, incentive for these to have picks on these games, but I guess we'll just try to go through them and do as we do. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, right now, we only have lines up for 2 games, but we do have pitchers for 4 out of the 6 games. That is going to happen on Thursday. So the only games we don't have pitchers for is going to be the Dodgers and the Marlins game. No starting pitcher yet for the Dodgers. And then the Diamondbacks and the Cubs. I see Javier Assad is going to get the start there for the Cubs, but nothing for the Diamondbacks. But we have the other 4 games with pitchers and then lines for 2 games. So we'll do our best kind of to navigate through the schedule here and then give out at least some type of picks, maybe not lock and dog, but at least a best bet between the 2 games that we do have lines for, and obviously give our leans and picks for the other 2 games without pitchers. Quite an afternoon so far here, Lante, at least on the Diamond. The Cubs get the victory over the Giants 8-2. Guardians squeak by a 2-1 victory against the Twins after a rain delay. Pirates upset the Brewers 5-4, and then we have 3 games in action right now. The A's have a 5-1 lead over the Blue Jays. A slugfest right now in Arizona. 6-5 lead for the Diamondbacks after the Rockies got out to a 4-0 lead. They're in the bottom of the 4th, and then right now top of the 4th between the Phillies and the Padres. 1-0 lead for the Phillies right now. So, we'll just do our best to kind of navigate through the schedule here. So, Lante, why don't we start with the 2 games that we actually do have lines for? So we'll we'll just have to skip over the Dodgers game because we don't have a pitcher yet for the Dodgers. So right now, let's go to we'll go to a 6:40 Eastern start between the Seattle Mariners and the Tampa Bay Rays. And I'm currently seeing Luis Castillo is going to get the start here for the Seattle Mariners. Tampa Bay Rays are going to start Zach Littell on the mound for that game. No lines yet, but we'll kind of talk through the game here and give our leans here. Mariners have kind of been struggling here, Lante. There's no question about that. I think this is a bad time for them to struggle right now because I know we've been talking about it daily on the pod. That AL West race right now has really tightened up between the 3 teams at the top, the Astros, the Rangers, and the Seattle Mariners. To start the week here, at least the Rangers and the Astros have been playing a 3-game set in Arlington, where the Astros have absolutely clobbered the Rangers in the first two games of that series, and it hasn't even been close. I'm trying to pull up the final scores. I know they've scored double-digit runs in I want to say the first two
Altuve probably
games. So going
outscored
back to
them all
Monday,
combined by itself.
Astros, yeah, you're probably correct. Trying to pull up the scores here from Monday. My screen is going a little slow here. Let's see here. So Astros won the game on Monday. God, where's the score? Twins. Oh, there you go. 13-6 on Monday. And then on Tuesday night, they absolutely clobbered them again behind Jose Altuve. Like Lante mentioned there, that was a final score of 13-6. Sorry, not 13-6. I think they scored 14 runs yesterday. Give me a second here. My internet, every time we do go live, my internet just starting to act up. Uh, um, let's see. It was like 14 to some final score there. But shout out to TVDVJ. Just sent me 50 cents to pay the fine. Pay the fine for the show. Appreciate you, TVDVJ, for sending that. I will make sure that gets over to some type of charity, or we're gonna start accumulating it over the remaining of the season. And then, if we get into a good dollar amount, you know what? I'll double it, and then we'll and the Rays. What do you got for this game with these two pitchers on the mound?
Yeah, it's tough, like you said. Seattle's lost 4 of 5. Tampa's also struggled a little bit. They've lost 3 of 5. Seattle did win the series 2-1 back in July. That was in Seattle though. Both pitchers have been going pretty well. I mean, Littell he's allowed 4 runs in his last 3 starts, four or more in his last 3 starts. Castillo was dominant in his last start, retired his final 12 batters, if I'm not mistaken. He's only allowed 1 run in his last 14 innings pitched. ERA dropped to right at 3. I think he's at like 301. He's got 181 Ks to 38 walks. So, man, I mean, I think we both have been on the forefront of saying Castillo's numbers. Castillo is better than what his numbers say his win-loss record is, of course. Yeah. But I'm gonna go with Seattle here, man. I know it's hard to go against Tampa at home, where they've been pretty much dominant all year. But I think Seattle they have to have it now. Must win doesn't mean they're gonna win, but I think this is a bigger game for Seattle. I think they got a better pitcher on the mound. I think they bounce back in a big way in Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, like now is the time more than ever that they need to start winning some ball games, because again, you don't want to fall too far behind in that AL West race. Like we mentioned, it's 3 teams battling it out between the Rangers, Astros, and the Mariners. Mariners, I mean, we're one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team, until a couple weeks ago, and they've kind of faltered a little bit. I think they've lost 5 out of the last 7, if I'm not mistaken. Have the Seattle Mariners. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Hopefully, this is a bounce back spot for the Mariners. I'm going to lean here with the Mariners as well. I think Luis Castillo has been one of their better pitchers in that top of that rotation. Like you mentioned there, I mean, his numbers are, or he is better than his numbers are indicating. But he hasn't been too bad. He has a 10-7 record with a 3.19 ERA. He's made 13 starts on the road this season. He's 4-4 with a 3.99 ERA. His last start was a rough one against the Mets. 5 innings. He allowed 5 earned runs. But prior to that, he had gone 3 straight games, at least 7 innings for the Mariners. So the Mariners have actually won 5 straight starts when Luis Castillo is on the mound. So hopefully they're able to find a groove here against the Tampa Bay Rays. So I'm going to go with the Rays the Mariners on the money line in that game. Let's get over to the next game on the schedule here. We will go over to let's go to a game that we actually do have lines for, and that's going to be between the Detroit Tigers and the New York Yankees. Currently, I am seeing lines or pitchers, Eduardo Rodriguez for the Detroit Tigers and Carlos Rodon is going to get the start here for the New York Yankees. Battle of left-handed pitchers here between these two teams. I am seeing the Yankees are a -166 home favorite here, plus 140 on the money line for the Detroit Tigers. Total is set at 8 with the vig towards the over at minus 118. Run line minus 1.5 plus 120 for the Yankees and plus 1.5 minus 142 for the Detroit Tigers here, Lante. Do you think Rodon is warranted to be a minus 166 favorite here?
No, I think it should be closer to like 115, 120-ish. I mean, he has allowed 2 or fewer in 3 straight games, ERA just under 3 over those 3 starts. But I think Erod has been on fire lately. I mean, since the All-Star break, he's 6-2. He's got a 3.76 ERA. It's respectable, I guess. 52 and a third innings since the All-Star break. His ERA drops a little to 3.11 over his last 21 starts of the year. So he's been doing pretty good. The record is a lot better than the ERA, of course, over his last 50 plus innings. But he does struggle against good offenses. I don't think he has to worry about the Yankees being a good offense. I mean, they're playing hard right now, but I wouldn't categorize them as a good offense. Against Boston and Houston, he allowed 10 earned runs combined, but he dominated against lesser competition like Cleveland and Chicago, only 2 earned runs combined. So I think the Yankees are somewhere in the middle of those 4 teams. Erod in his last 7 starts, man, only allowed over 2 runs once. So he's pitching well home and on the road. I think I'm going to go with Erod here. I'd much rather split a unit first 5 because I think that the Detroit bullpen could be, I guess it could come back to haunt us. So I'll go first 5 with Erod, half a unit, and then full game, half a unit.
Yeah, I think that Eduardo Rodriguez has some type of edge here or advantage is that he's seen this Yankees team plenty of times in his career when he was a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. He's familiar with obviously Yankee Stadium, so familiar with some of the bats here in this lineup. And I know the Yankees are starting to make, I guess, a youth movement. They've called up a couple of guys out of their farm system there. We saw Anthony Rizzo has been shut down for the rest of the season to let Josh Donaldson go. It was funny that even though Josh Johnson was on the IL and they let him go, they finally started scoring some runs after he left the building for the New York Yankees. But it seems like the offense is turning around just a little bit for the Yankees here. I know Aaron Judge is doing Aaron Judge things here, but I'm gonna go with the Tigers as well, man. I think I think we do see runs in this game because if you kind of take a look at the splits over the last 2 weeks for the New York Yankees against left-handed pitching, they've actually been doing really well against those left-handed pitchers. So I think that you may be able to see some runs here. I know, like you mentioned, Carlos Rodon has been better as of late for the New York Yankees. But again, I think those were against some of the poorer offenses in the American League there. So I think we do see runs here. I feel like this number is a little low at 8. It looks like it's going to move towards 8.5. Possibly when we get closer to game time or on Thursday morning. So I'll lean with the over here. Actually, I like the over 8 in this game. Yeah. And I'll take the plus money price here on the Tigers if you had a gun to my head for this game. Lante, before we get over to the next game on the schedule for the Thursday card, let me tell everyone about DraftKings. Can you believe we've had to wait 7 months without an NFL game? And it's finally here. Thursday night football. Week 1 is officially here. Good thing it's over because DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't-miss offer for Week 1. This week, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. Check the app to see what you can get. Download the app now. Make sure to use promo code SGP to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code SGP. Only on DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. And we're also brought to you by Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite events shouldn't have to be stressful. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guaranteed, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you're going to have. Some of the things I love about their Game Time app is that they have flash deals and last-minute tickets, easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area, images of your seat view. So when you go and look at a particular seat, in any type of venue, you're going to actually see what your view is actually going to look like in that particular venue. So there's not going to be any surprises when you actually get to that venue for that respective event. Their lowest prices are guaranteed, event cancellation protection as well. Forget having to plan months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets like for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, and much more. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. They're so confident that if you find tickets in the same section same section and the row for less, Game Time is going to credit you 110% of the difference. All you got to do is download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price are guaranteed. All right, Lante, let's get over to the next game that is on the schedule here. We are going to go over to, let's go to Hot Atlanta. 7:20 Eastern Star, the St. Louis Cardinals. They are taking on the Atlanta Braves. Adam Wainwright is going to get the start here for the St. Louis Cardinals, and I'm seeing Max Fried, left-handed pitcher, is going to be on the mound for the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are close to a $3 favorite in this game, officially minus 298 over on DraftKings, plus 240 on the money line for the St. Louis Cardinals. Total is set at 10.5 with juice towards the under at minus 115. Run line minus 1.5, minus 148 for the Atlanta Braves, and plus 1.5, plus 124 for the St. Louis Cardinals. Let's start here with Adam Wainwright. Obviously, not the greatest season he's having in his career. There's no secret about that. Just on the season, he's 3-10 with an 8.10 ERA. Last 5 games, nothing has changed. 0-5 with a 10.89 ERA. Now, he is coming off a pretty good start against the San Diego Padres. Definitely one of his better starts, if not the best start of the season. 6 innings, 8 hits. He only allowed 1 earned run in that span, but now you're going up against an offense in the Atlanta Braves that is absolutely raking every single pitcher that they're pretty much seeing this entire season as far as scoring runs at least. Max Fried, he's returned from injury. I believe it's been at least a month since he has returned for the Atlanta Braves. On the season, he's 6-1 with a 2.52 ERA over his last 5 games, 3-0 with a 3.45 ERA. Coming off an absolutely outstanding outing against one of the better offenses in the entire league in the LA Dodgers. 7 shutout innings in that game, 3 hits. He gave up, only allowed 2 walks, 10 strikeouts in that game for Max Fried. So he's been going along pretty well here. I think it's pretty simple for me here, Alante. I mean, you probably just want to take the run line here, minus 1.5, minus 148. If you want to get some plus money odds, I'm sure your books offer minus 2.5 run lines here as well. Wouldn't be opposed to getting on the Braves team totals here as well. I just think they're going to absolutely crush Adam Wainwright in this game. You could possibly be out of the this game by the 2nd or 3rd inning here, Lonte. Anything different you see?
Yeah, not at all. I mean, team total is probably the best way if you don't want to lay 298. But yeah, not reverse run line, but alt run line minus at 2.5. Get you some plus money. Wainwright, 16 earned runs his last 2 road starts, 4+ runs in 7 of his last 10 starts. I mean, like you mentioned, Fried has been awesome since he's came back. 1.15 whip, 64 Ks over his last 60 innings pitched. 4 quality starts in his last 6. So, I mean, he's going along really good. And I was really impressed with that. I was on the Dodgers actually whenever they played against each other. But he threw a gem. It's not much, man. You got to go with the Atlanta team total. I mean, even last night, St. Louis was wrecking them like early on. And they got some momentum going. And I was like, they were down, I think, 2 runs, maybe after they had a big inning. I can't remember. Maybe it was the 6th or 7th inning they had a big inning, and they were actually like almost favored. I think they were like plus 105 to win the game. That just goes to show you just how potent the offense is.
Yeah. They were up, let's see here, 8-1 at the end of 6. Atlanta tacked on 2 in the bottom of the 6. They got 3 more at the bottom of the 8.
Here we go.
But St. Louis did go on to win that game 10-6. And then again tonight, Dakota Hudson, at least on Wednesday night, is going up against his Braves offense. And then, like we mentioned, Adam Wainwright is going up against the Atlanta offense as well. So should be able to put up some runs at
Yeah.
least over the course of the final 2 games here against the Cardinals in this series.
Check out some Jordan Walker, man. He's hitting the ball really, really well. Jordan Walker,
Yeah,
he's hitting the
I know
ball.
he was really touted up for, I believe, Rookie of the Year this upcoming
Yeah, he
season,
was.
or
Yeah, he was.
sorry, for this season.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's found some form here, man. They definitely can use his bat because I have a gut feeling that this might be the last season we see Nolan Arenado possibly in a Cardinals uniform, but we shall see.
Yep.
All right, let's get over to the next game on the schedule here. That is going to be let's go to the last game on the board because the Diamondbacks and Cubs don't have a pitcher yet. I am seeing Javier Assad on the mound here for the Chicago Cubs. We can quickly touch on him because he's been absolutely outstanding for the Chicago Cubs here. Lante, you want to expand on Javier Assad?
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's went 5+ innings while allowing 2 or fewer runs in 5 straight starts. So he's been going really well. 1.62 ERA, 0.93 WHIP, which I really like, and a 4-to-1 K to walk ratio. That's during the last 33 and a third inning. So man, he's been awesome. The Cubs have been on fire lately. They've won 8 of the last 11, if I'm not mistaken. 8 of the last 11, something like that. So they're on a 5-game winning streak. I did my notes before the game finished today. What did they score? 8 runs?
So currently not currently, but they did go on to win the game here today against the Giants 8-2.
Yeah, so they got 47 runs in that 5-game winning streak. So they're really raking the ball. Love the pitching. I mean, you just gotta go. Of course, it's price dependent, but I wouldn't look anywhere but the Cubs, especially with Assad on the mound. I thought it was Cecino was going to go for Arizona. Maybe I saw it wrong.
Yeah, I saw that too when I was going to handicap these games, but I guess that changed, or they maybe would go with a bullpen day. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I'm not sure it matters, Lante.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Cubs all the way.
Yeah, I didn't have much else. I mean, Javier Assad has been their second best pitcher. I mean, Justin Steele right now having a Cy Young year for them, but Javier Assad has been a really bright surprise and a nice surprise, I guess we can say, for the Cubs team, especially them being without Marcus Stroman, who's been dealing with the injury.
Is he coming back before the postseason?
I mean, I think they could use his services, especially in the postseason. I mean, if he's able to pitch like he was at the beginning of the season, that'll be another great arm for them to have if they do make the playoffs and advance at least in the wild card round, or sorry, the divisional round. But let me see here. It says, let's see.
I haven't checked it yet. I used to watch him. He went to Duke. I used to watch him pitch at like around different schools. I'm not far from like he pitched at Wake Forest one year. I went to see him, and then I think at like UNCG or something like that. I've seen him a couple times in college.
Sorry, excuse me. So he is currently in Arizona doing a rehab. He did throw a bullpen side session for himself. He threw 35 pitches. Obviously didn't face any batters, but obviously a good first step for Stroman returning for the Cubs. Hopefully that'll be in hopefully mid or late September. They're able to get Marcus Stroman back into that Cubs rotation. All right, last game on the Thursday schedule. That is going to be the Cleveland Guardians and the LA Angels. I am currently seeing Cal Quantrill is going to be on the mound here for the Cleveland Guardians, and Griffin Canning is on the mound here for the LA Angels. Let me see if we did have any lines that did pop up in this game. We do not. We did get a pitcher for the Dodgers, and lines are out, so we'll circle back to that game after we talk about this matchup here, Lonte. What do you got for the Guardians and Angels, if anything?
Yeah, I wanted to. I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to take the under in the game, but Quantrill's been giving it up lately, like 5+ runs allowed in 4 of his last 5 starts. He did miss all of August, and he pitched well versus Tampa in his return. But I mean, if you want to that could be like kind of beginner's luck type thing. I mean, if you want to look over his bigger sample size. I mean, Canning is allowed 2 or fewer in 5 of his 6 starts. Now he's lost 3 or 4 of those starts, 3 out of 4 starts. But I mean, I don't trust either pitcher, and I want to go with an under, but it's hard to go against Quantrill. And Canning he's been pitching well, but he's prone to giving up a couple of runs. So I'm gonna stay away. If I had to, I would probably. I mean, I probably play Cleveland if they're a dog. Do you think they have to be? Well, Cleveland has to be favorite. Nobody's going to be. The Angels not going to be favored against anybody.
Yeah, probably not. This might be like one of those minus 105, minus
Yeah.
115
Okay.
deals. Like either way, I could
Yeah.
see it going that
I'd
way.
lean
But
whoever. I honestly lean whoever is a dog. If you can get a plus by anybody, I would probably lean with them.
yeah, I think TVDBJ mentioned it. Like anytime I see Cal Quantrill on the mound, I just kind of want to bet the over because anytime I've tried to bet on him, thinking that he's turned the corner, I always get burned. But you kind of take a look over his last game. He did return for the Cleveland Guardians, which was against the Rays. Had a pretty good outing, 6 innings, allowed 2 earned runs in that game, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. But I mean, prior to that, he was just an absolute gas can for this Cleveland Guardians rotation. So um, I'm obviously not going to be betting this game. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Shohei Ohtani for the rest of the season because there's
Probably not.
no reason to put him out there. But Griffin Canning hasn't been too bad over his last 3 starts, at least. He's only allowed a combined 4 earned runs in about 16 and 1/3 innings pitched in that span for the LA Angels. But I mean, I think this is going to be one of those games where I just don't want any part of. Gun to my head, I'll lean with the Angels, but again, I don't love it at all. Not going to have any action on this game. All right, before we get over to go back to the Dodgers game because we did get a pitcher in that game. Let me tell everyone about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. With their fantasy pick'em game, you pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether to go higher or lower on one of their stats, then do what you usually spend your Sundays doing. That's watching the games. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, but you can win real money. So watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little cash over Underdog's mobile app or their website, underdogfantasy.com. And when you deposit with promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $100. Again, that's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. In honor of the NFL season returning, the free roll football contest is back. The free season-long NFL Pick'em contest, $1,000 for first place, $500 for second place. But if you're a Patreon member, that is going to double your prizes to $2,000 for first place and $1,000 for second place. Plus, a Patreon member who wins the free roll football contest, they'll get the autographed full-size Sports Gambling Podcast helmet, which includes guests like Joe Theismann, Bill Romanowski, Pac-Man Jones, John Sally, Eric Metcalf, and LeGarrette Blunt. Sign-up link is in the SGPN app. All you got to do is go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to become a member to get into your chance, again, to, like I mentioned, to win double the prize amount in the free roll football contest. Win the weekly Patreon Pick'em contest as well for some nice gifts and cash prizes. All right, Lante, let's get over to or go back to the Dodgers and the let's see here, the Marlins game. So I am currently seeing that the Miami Marlins are trouting out Braxton Garrett, left-handed pitcher for the Marlins, and for the Dodgers here. Let me refresh my screen here in a second. It is going to be let's see. Ryan Pepiot is going to get the start here for the Dodgers. So Ryan Pepiot against Braxton Garrett. Dodgers did come out a minus 125 road favorite here, plus 105 on the money line for the Miami Marlins. Total is set at 8.5 with big towards the over at minus 115. Run line minus 1.5, plus 130 for the Dodgers, and plus 1.5, minus 150. Minus 155 for the Miami Marlins. Lante, you want to lead us off here with this game if you have anything?
Yeah, man. I thought all throughout this whole they played 2 games, right? Yeah, so 2 games. I thought the Dodgers were completely short, like in both games, and Miami gave it to him. So even with Kershaw on the mound, they Josh Bell, I think, got it started, and it just kind of it kind of like snowballed. I think Jazz hit a bomb. Um, I forgot who Yarborough was. It Yarborough that was in their relief. Yeah, Yarborough was giving it up. Like after
Yeah.
Kershaw gave up that. Yeah, man, he was getting punished. I don't know why Roberts left him out there so long. Like he was getting hit around pretty good. But yeah, I think Braxton Garrett is going to be the right side here. He's been going really well lately. He hasn't allowed over 3 runs in his last 7 starts. He did pitch well in LA. He had only 3 runs allowed on 5 hits in 6 innings. So I think the familiarity will be there. He's at home where he's comfortable. I might go with the first 5. I don't really want to listen. I don't want to fade the Dodgers at all. But if I'm going to do it, I'd rather do it early before they might heat up. And Garrett might have a good outing at first, and then the bullpen blows it. So I'll go with the Miami first 5.
I'm trying to pull up the numbers here for the Dodgers against left-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks.
And you don't have to. It's probably 16. Phenomenal. Look, it's probably phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, the season long they've been good, but the last 2 weeks they have faltered a little bit down to number 16 as far as WRC plus. Team batting average number 16 as well. Slugging percentage they are number 20, and then team strikeout percentage against left-handed pitching they're actually number 3. So over the last 2 weeks, so it's a little bit surprising for the LA Dodgers, but I think you're right, man. I think the side might here just be the Marlins. So left-handed pitcher Braxton Garrett on the mound, at least within the first 5 innings, because I'll take the first 5 inning money line here for the Marlins. Like you mentioned, that the Marlins are up 2-1, something in that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I think that bullpen is probably going to come in and absolutely give it up to the Dodgers offense. But I think, I'm going to go with the Marlins first 5 inning money line on this game here, which brings us to the end of the podcast, man. Apologies to our listeners for this pod. We were kind of all over the place. 6 games on Thursday's schedule. We only had lines for 2 games while we're recording. We did have a third line pop up between the Marlins and the Dodgers. So hopefully we're able to find some type of winners for you guys. Lante, I guess we'll just do a best bet, man. I don't know if you have a lock and dog you want to give it out. If not, we'll probably just go best bet here, man. I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna just make it simple. I like Atlanta team total to go over. It's at 6. I know it's kind of high, but against Wainwright, we read off the Wainwright numbers earlier. I don't know how he makes it out of the second, third inning at best against his team. I'm pretty sure they're going to be fired up after, depending on the result tonight. But I know they're going to be really fired up tonight after letting one get away from them last night. But yeah, I think that team total go over 6 at home. They pretty much go over 6 pretty often. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I can imagine it's a decent it's decent in their favor going over that 6. The dog, I guess we can go with Miami. Just go a half a unit, but I do like the first 5. I just don't see first 5 numbers for it just yet. So I'll go with Miami as a dog, thinking Garrett can get it done.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Braves there, whether you want to take the -1.5 or minus even 2.5 all run line for the Braves. I think Adam Wainwright is just going to get smashed here by the Atlanta Braves. Also do like the run line, whatever the number comes out for the Chicago Cubs. I know there's no official pitcher right now for the Diamondbacks, but Diamondbacks are going to be traveling from home over to Chicago after they finish up their game with the Colorado Rockies. And it looks like they've had to expend a lot of energy in that game because they were trailing 4-0 or 4-0 and 4-0 in that game. Now they have a 9-5 lead. So, and Corbin Carroll also left that game with a wrist injury again. So not sure if he's going to be playing tomorrow for the Diamondbacks. So I think this is a good spot right now for the Cubs. When that run line does come out, Javier Assad, like we mentioned, has been pitching really well for the Cubbies. Their offense, like Lante mentioned, has been putting up astronomical runs over the last 5 games. So I think that I'm going to go with Javier Assad on the run line there when that line does come out. And then also I'm with you on the Braves here, -1.5, -2.5, and team totals to go over. The Braves against Adam Wainwright. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast. 6 games on the schedule for Thursday. I know it's the first game of the NFL season, but usually Thursdays are kind of those getaway days where teams getting their days off. But we have a full games of schedule on Friday. We would get into, I think it's myself, Mal. I'm not sure. Lance, are you on the show with us tomorrow?
No, I'm on Friday.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's myself, Dylan, and Mal, I believe. But we'll be back tomorrow in some form or fashion for the Friday schedule. So look out for us then at the same time. Lance, anything else you want to mention before we get out of here, my man?
Man, best of luck to everybody tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, make sure to follow Lante on Twitter at XXLanteXX. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsNerd824. More importantly, before you guys get out of here, hit that like button for us and also subscribe to the MLB Gambling Podcast YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Twitter at MLB SGPN. Also, do us a favor, follow us on Instagram if you're on Instagram. MLB Gambling Podcast is the handle over on Instagram. Okay, like I mentioned, we'll be back tomorrow. Till then, good luck with your bets. Let's break these books off and let it ride.